I believe I am back. Let's see. Sorry for the delay. I had to take my dogs out. One of them had to poop. And I played with him a little bit, chased him in the yard. Okay. So as far as our stream goes, we're out of the thick of some of the action. And I like to use the intervening travel time to broaden the discussion into general topics, aesthetic topics. I had mentioned, I think, at this point to you YouTubers, it will be the previous episode, that RPGs have as one moment of their aesthetic form the narrative, right? The incorporation of player choice into the story. Narrative permutation as aesthetic form. But another moment of RPGs, and this has been true as much of Baldur's Gate, for instance, as of the Elder Scrolls series, is that world building is another crucial element of aesthetic form that we ought to orient to. And I actually have a pretty good example of that. You know, how does world building really take effect? I think one good example is Skyrim. Because in Skyrim, for instance, I mean, really in the Elder Scrolls universe at large, dragons are basically timeless, immemorial creatures. Alduin, whom the player character has to defeat after it had been banished during earlier events outside of time, thus takes on like a sort of extra-temporal existence, a metaphysical existence. Dragons are, they exist outside of the continuum of time in a very important sense. Right? So dragons are more foundational to the ontology, you know, the logic of what is, of this world building in the Elder Scrolls series than, say, vampires. You know, I think some of the oldest vampires in Skyrim or Tamriel are the ones that you encounter via the Dawnguard mod, you know, Serana and Lord, what is it, Harkin. And they basically became powerful vampire lords in a, what was it? It was like a contract with Molag Bal, which was apparently very traumatic for Serana, which is why she's not ready for a relationship, unfortunately. But this is all to say that vampires actually are the less historically original, the more historically novel kind of entity in the game. And this kind of points someone to, it illustrates this guy. Do I have to kill this guy?
Showing your face was the last mistake you'll ever make.
You know, I feel like it was the first mistake you'll make. Anyway. That kind of illustrates how world building actually functions in these, you know, fantasy settings, is that it kind of operates on a mass of more or less indifferent historical materials. So the way, like, we know about vampires independently than we know about, from how we know about dragons, right? These are individual human I guess, myths, legends, fables that are handed down for historically distinct reasons, right? Like, for example, the first vampire short story, although what precedes it are the vampire fables and legends. But it was really a 19th century invention, whereas dragons have like an older sort of mythical existence in human history. But the way that these worlds, these fantasy worlds function, is essentially to take all those masses of like legends and fables and other mutually indifferent historical materials and try to find which ones come first, right, within the timeline of this unique fantasy world being created. So the world building of the Elder Scrolls series kind of subtracts some components and adds them at an earlier date, right? It doesn't particularly matter how dragons are construed in human history in comparison with vampires. You've got some it's pretty effective in battle. Anyway, it doesn't particularly matter in human history, but what matters is for the timeline, dragons tend to be added a lot earlier in the Elder Scrolls series, right? And this manifests differently in different RPGs. Since Baldur's Gate 3 kind of derives from the Forgotten Realms world, it's a Forgotten Realms series. Make sure I'm on the right track to get to Skingrad here. It can kind of manifest differently. There seem to be a lot more like sort of homebrew races and mythical creatures like the Githyanki, the Mind Flayers. There's probably just been more time for that world to develop, right? Whereas the Elder Scrolls kind of world building has more anthropological and biological markings. I believe it talks about proto-humanoid species and creatures that predated, the normal allotment of elves and Imperials.
Where are you?
Where am I? But yeah, so the point of all that conversation is really just to say that another aspect of aesthetic form we ought to orient to when it comes to video games is world building. Narrative is one portion of it. Narrative is kind of how the player agency occupies this pre-existing world. But world building is another important component of how the aesthetic form is actually constructed. And we wouldn't necessarily think about it this way within the context of games, because we're kind of presented this already existing world. People who get really into lore are kind of exploring that for themselves. I'm going to table this discussion for a second while I enter the appropriately named Skingrad. Very well named town. Pause for a moment. Okay, Skingrad time. Look at this random horse. What's your deal?
Hello? Yes?
No.
Hammer and Tongs is a good place to get your armor repaired. Just don't go early in the morning. Agnet usually isn't feeling so well then.
Interesting.
Bye.
It's Agnet's deal. Okay. Yeah, let's Twin Sisters Lodge. Two Sisters Lodge. Okay. Stay here for a second. Glad to finally be somewhere I can relax. In game. Those are probably the rooms.
I'm Magram Ogok, proprietor of Two Sisters Lodge. My sister and I own the place. 2 sisters, see? Need a bed? Good food?
Now, thanks for explaining to me what would have been unclear.
Battlehorn Castle near Coral is besieged by marauders. Oh, I wish I could go and save them.
You definitely look like you could. You look like a version of the wife from Shrek They Scrapped.
You need some place to rest? I can rent you a room for the night for 10 gold.
Sure.
Okay, then. It's upstairs, the room at the west end of the hall. That's to your right when you come out the door. Enjoy. Don't count on seeing the Count at the castle. He's a great sorcerer, but he doesn't like visitors.
It's named after Count Skingrad.
My sister, Ugak runs the
Vampire, right?
Grateful Pass stables. She's the quiet one. Huh, I'm the talker.
Yeah, I can tell.
I'm through talking to you.
Oh, okay. Not the talker anymore, I see. What do you think about that wall? Are you having a good stare at it at the moment? It's the way monks be, I guess, or whatever the hell you are. Except my dog is acting furiously. Sit down, bud. Go away. I didn't leave. Oh my god, upstairs. Yes, yes. Let's take a bit of a, more than a nap. Oh, it's just a matter of concentration. Great to know. Great to know. Let's see. Do a few pieces of improvement to my personality. Sure. Why not? Okay, we've leveled up. We are now going to go back downstairs to the main portion of the lodge, as my dog currently burrows his way beneath my feet. Go away. It's okay. Yeah, sweet doggy. I've already made it up another level. What's going on here? What's going on here? Alright, I need to take another night's rest before I level up again. Appears to be what's going on here. In Skyrim, you just get to level up all at once. Is there anything else I can take a look around? What do we think? Are you going to do the Mages Guild? Yeah, let's go in. Let's try it out. See if there's a thing we can do. Excellent.
What? Who are you? Ah, who cares? I'm Druya. You want something? Or are you just practicing your Cyrodiilic?
You know, you come out a little strong, buddy.
Adriana can make you a member of the guild if you can convince her to take her nose out of whatever book she's reading. I don't know what Archmage Traven has against necromancy, but the first thing he did after taking over the Mages Guild was to ban its practice.
Yeah, that's referenced in Skyrim
It's a
as
town
well.
like any other. Well, go outside and there's the mountains and wines and sheep. Here in town, though, nothing special. Have a look at my wares. I'm sure there's something to suit you.
Okay. Here's I need some more practice with some of these destruction spells because I might as well get a purchase spark.
Come back and see me again.
I don't want to
You
bother
too.
with haggling.
Greetings, Dunmer.
Don't just call me by my race, bro. I'm more than meets the eye.
May the wind be on your back.
Thanks. I don't want to be too cold, though.
What? I'm rather busy right now.
Yeah, he told me.
Oh, is this about joining the Mages Guild? I suppose I could spare the time if necessary.
Let's do it. Let's join. Let's join.
You're interested in joining? Great things will be expected of you. Are you sure you're ready for it? Then, you are now an associate of the Mages Guild.
That
You
was
must
easy.
receive a recommendation from every local guild hall in Cyrodiil before you may advance through the ranks of the guild. In the meantime, as a member of the guild, you now have full access to the guild halls around Cyrodiil. Only the Arcane University is closed to you.
Okay.
It's been the home of the Mages Guild for the longest time. You should see the library they have there. It's the only place worth visiting in the Imperial City, if you ask me. I only make the trip if I can't find a specific book here.
So, I should make the trip, and yet it is closed to me.
I offer the finest goods and lowest prices in all Cyrodiil.
She's got some higher level destruction spells, which might be useful.
There's at least one person in every guild hall who offers spells. Check at every hall to make sure you don't miss any. I'm afraid I haven't given it much thought. I'm rather busy, you understand. My research occupies nearly all of my time. Now that I think about it, I do have a small problem concerning Earthor. He's one of the guild mages here. Think you can do something about it?
Sure.
Excellent. I just don't have the time to search for him again, but I do need to consult him about some notes he borrowed. You might want to ask around and see if anyone can be of some help. Let me know when he's back and you'll have your recommendation. He's an interesting fellow. Salinas Facinus can tell you more about him if you wish to know. Salinas should be around here somewhere. Talk to him if you'd like to know more about Earthor.
Sure. Yeah, I'll learn
Have
more
Earthor
about
see me
Earthor.
when he gets back, associate.
Yeah. My name is up here. Some living quarters. Do I get to stay there? Okay, excellent. I can now sleep here without having to rent a room, I'd assume. Right. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I might take a little bit of a nap and level up and find out about this Earthor guy. See. Sure. Sure you don't want to take a nappy? Okay. dog has finally started to take a nap.
Morning.
Of his own.
Garfier is acting even stranger than usual, don't you think?
I agree. He's always writing in that
Very
little
impressed by
notebook.
it.
Sometimes
Gaston and his brothers produce quality wines. I'll have to pick up some more.
Be seeing you.
What is it, associate?
Hello.
I hear you got quite a task from Adriana. A nice enough guy, I suppose, but there was that awful scamp incident last year. That's when Adriana told him he needed to practice somewhere else. Somewhere else. Meaning somewhere far away. So he settled down in Bleak Flats Cave. Did all his work there and came back to town twice a week to check in. Hasn't been around lately, though.
My guess is that he's dead as hell.
Oh dear. I just can't seem to remember where that is. What a shame.
Okay.
I don't mean to gossip, but he is more than a bit strange. However, he's always been tolerated as the town eccentric. Necromancy may be legal in Cyrodiil, but few will openly admit to practicing it now that the Mages Guild has banned it. What can I interest you in?
Okay, so he has different classes of spells. Still mostly destruction.
I'm here to help if you need me.
What can I do for you?
Better scope around about
I
Airthor.
haven't seen him in quite some time. It's just northwest of Skin. That's where Earthor wound up. You might want to make sure she remembers, especially the part. Good luck finding Earthor.
Great. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, so it's not far from this Goblin Jim's cave. Did I still need to talk to that woman? Yeah, let's go back and make sure I'm missing something.
Greetings to you.
Glarther is
Hi
acting
there.
even stranger than usual.
Glarthier is acting even stranger than usual, don't you think?
Of course.
Any sign of Earthor lately?
Absolutely not.
Have you heard any word about the other provinces?
Nothing I'd like to talk about.
Safe travels.
You too.
Hello there.
Hello. You're here about that recommendation, I presume. I'll need to speak with Earthor before I write it. Oh, I do remember telling him to go there. Well, we'll just have to do something about that, won't we? By we, I mean you, of course. I have something that may help. It's a basic fireball spell, in case you need to defend yourself. I'll be here when you get back. Good luck.
He's probably still out the cave.
What she give me? Weak fireball. I guess it's stronger than not particularly stronger. Honestly, okay, this is an area of effect spell. Right? And that might be its appeal.
Works.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Good to see you.
Is it me? Or is it quiet?
Worthwhile seeing if it works any better or worse in comparison with just the typical flare spell that I and the scamps both use.
What do you want, Ashbourne?
That's not nice.
It's you. Hi.
You know who I am?
Come on, join the Fighters Guild. See the world and get paid for it.
Maybe later.
Training, beds, and good hard work. Can't beat it.
This way. I was getting a call. I wanted to make sure it was spam, which I think it is. A life insurance robocall. On to Bleak Falls Cave. Yeah, we're doing a little bit of a side quest now. We're not in too much of a rush to get Martin back to Leyland Priory. Well, I am now concerned, seeing as I can't find him. So. Oh, there you are. Okay. Follow me, buddy. This is a pretty region. Cut straight through here. I don't know. There was not enough data to tell me how well that fireball does. Didn't seem all that area of effecty to me. Nice. The wolves are a little bit too cute in Oblivion in the remaster. I feel like they're a little more appropriately scary in Skyrim. You don't feel as bad killing them. Bleak Flats Cave. I think I was conflating that with Bleak Falls Barrow from Skyrim. Let's go. Are there zombies that aren't deranged? They're just relatively sane individuals with specific opinions on things? I don't think so. Well, my sneak is getting better. Sorry. Teddy, no. Oh, come on. Jesus. Fireball's a little slow. Like the Scorch spell is faster. Let's travel. So it looks like this fucking this mage dude has had some zombies to deal with. Let's hope he's not one of them. I do not know the etiology of zombiehood in this game quite as well as I do normally. Where if you get bitten by one, you become one. But wall won't shift. Okay. Well, I guess I'll just have to find another way. So, getting sneaky. Are you serious? Sorry, bud. I'm not liking the aim of this fireball this far. I feel like I've been worse at it than the Scorch. Double check my costs 5 points. No, 13, 12. I think it might be that it does longer term damage. I think that might be the benefit. So it'll be 3 seconds, 5 per second, slower cast rate. That sounds about like a trade-off. That said, it's not very efficient so far. It's an exclusive mode of destruction. Okay. We venture into this deep, dark hole. I think I'm going to end now this stream. Pick up where we left off. To the viewer who doesn't exist, I do thank you, and I'll be around.